the worst part about all of this situation was what I said to God going to my bed at nights. My prayer was, God, I'm going to ask you one favor, and that is, please do not let me wake up tomorrow. I said, God, I cannot bear this pain anymore. But so please put me to rest. Okay guys, so please let's take a moment of silence. Okay, so thank you guys for participating in that with me. As you have seen, that the presentation that I did in the beginning, these are facts. These are things that have happened, and you know, today I just want to share my story and how I was able to overcome my depression. So let's just get right into it. Okay, now this is a story that is very near and dear to my heart. I absolutely don't like being vulnerable, but you know, there comes a time when you feel the need to share your story, because it might just help someone out there. You yourself may be going through a trying moment, a trying time, or just simply going through depression. And you know, a lot of persons nowadays are suffering from mental health, and because they don't feel free or have that comfortable space in which to speak about it, they suffer with it inside, as you know, I did for some time. And it's something that really eats you up inside, and I don't want that to happen to any of us. I don't want us to become a statistic, you know, due to committing suicide. And it's very real out there, and the reality is, you know, depression is no respecter of persons. It has no face. You know, it doesn't care about race. It doesn't care about your ethnic group. It doesn't care about which country you're from. It doesn't care if you're Black, Hispanic, Caucasian, you know, whatever. It doesn't care. And it doesn't respect your pocket. As we have seen, there are so many individuals who have the money who are sad. They're not happy. And so, you know, you tend to wonder, why do these people commit suicide? You know, why are they not happy? They have everything that they need. They have a house, a car, you know, wife, picnic, husband, whatever it is. They can buy everything. But the truth is, you really can't buy happiness. You really cannot buy happiness. And at the end of the day, happiness only comes from one place, and that is Jesus himself, God himself. So we'll get more into that. Now, in my previous video, I said to you that, you know, I spoke to you about how I went to Japan, and I alluded to being depressed while there. And so today is the day where I'm gonna be getting right into it, telling you how I became depressed and, you know, all of that good stuff. Okay, so before I went to Japan, I was in a relationship, and I thought, okay, you know, this person was going to be my forever, my, you know, my husband. We were about 3.5 years going into 4, and before I went to Japan, I said, you know, this is what I would like to do. Do you agree with it, etc.? Of course, the person said, don't necessarily want you to leave, but if it's your dream, you know, go ahead, etc. They will be waiting for me when I get back. Okay, so I said, let me make this move, because in my head it's for both of us, right? You know, I'm thinking, you know, whatever progress I make, then it's not just me making the progress, but we're making the progress together. Anywho, things became difficult because in Japan, you know, it's a 14-hour difference from Jamaica. So communicating became very difficult for us. And so and also, for example, when I went to work, you know, I'd have my phone on silent. So when I got back home, I'm so tired because I'm not used to the hours, my jet lag, everything, you know, I fall asleep. And by my fall asleep, my phone still on silent, my phone a ring, when I get it, by the time I call back the person there at work can't answer the phone, all kind of things. So it was just back and forth thing. And then, you know, we tried to deal with it, but let me tell you, long distance, I want a hell of a thing, you know. Anyway, fast forward, things were just getting, you know, we were falling apart basically. And the time in which we fell apart, it was just so quick. And I really couldn't understand it, because I was willing to work, I was willing to do every single thing to make it happen. But at the end of the day, one hand can't clap, it takes two to tango. During that time, things got a little difficult for me, because in January, this is now 2016, in January I had started my master's, and so, you know, schoolwork plus having issues with my partner, plus my uncle had died, and it was heartbreaking for me because it's somebody who I really loved and cherished, and I wasn't able to go to the funeral. So because of how the relationship was going, even though it was dissolved, I was still, you know, adamant on fixing it. And so I said, I'm going to book a plane fare. I spoke to the person, I said, I'm going to come to Jamaica in March so we can sort it out. And then, no, because I was getting the job in April, I said, okay, let me wait a little and come in summer instead. Because I was like, okay. So at this time, I was saving every little penny that I could to book that plane fare. Anyway, between March and August, why, things just go straight downhill, and that is where the depression started, you know. So I was absolutely heartbroken. There were so many uncertainties, there were so many unanswered questions, you know. The person just stopped talking to me. It's as if the person never knew me, and I think that was the most heart-wrenching thing. You know, I spoke to my mom about it, and she would encourage me and stuff, but the pain got so excruciating that it was just difficult to bear. And while I going through those months, you know, school started getting to me, and before I came to Jamaica, I said, guys, I'm going to quit. I told my parents, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to quit. It's not what I want to do. You know, I find all kind of excuse come here and say, no sir, I can't go through this. I'm dealing with a broken heart. I'm dealing with so many different things, so many feelings, and the worst part about it was that, you know, I just felt like I couldn't speak to anybody about it, you know, and I was going deeper and deeper and deeper into a rut. Now there were times when I would go to school, work. I'd go to work, and I said to God, God, I just need 45 minutes. I just need 45 minutes to go through this class. And I don't want to think about it. I don't want to feel anything. Just give me 45 minutes to finish this class. And, you know, he gave that to me. And, you know, there were times I'm in the classroom and I forget everything that I'm going through. And then as soon as I step back out, reality hit me again, and I'm like, really, I'm dealing with this, and I don't have no family around me. You know, I didn't want to say anything to my friends because really and truly, I was embarrassed. I was absolutely embarrassed, you know, because this is somebody I brought around my family, friends, etc. So I was embarrassed to how things went down. I didn't really want to, you know, say anything, so I kept it for a good little while, you know. And for me, I don't like to feel pain. As I said, I don't like to be vulnerable. So I'm the type of person where, you know, I'm just gonna like bite my teeth and say, all right, no, don't feel it. Just you know, stay above the water. Don't sink. Just don't sink. But it reached to a point where I was above the water, and without realizing, I started to sink. It's like my heart was attached to an anchor, and it just go down, go down, go down, and there was no way it could come back up. And, you know, yeah, just thinking about it, you know, it really breaks my heart. And this is the point that breaks my heart. I was in such a bad situation where I go to my bed asking God, why am I alive? Why do I have to go through this? Why are you making me feel this way? Why can't you take this pain away from me? You know, I felt like I had an ice box at my heart, you know. I have an ice box where my heart used to be, and it was just not melting. It was just, the pain was just excruciating. And being in Japan, you know, by yourself, no family, it didn't help. And many persons probably won't understand living in Japan, and having to deal with so many different things. You know, as I said, there were, you know, a few discriminations. For example, sometimes I would go in the train and persons would get up from beside me. You know, that didn't help to how I was feeling. So all those things, coupled with you're at your workplace and nobody really speaks to you, it's almost like you're a fly on the wall. So whenever you're needed to teach a class, you just go. Nobody not really business with you, so to speak. Everybody's just busy and they're in their own world, and everybody's busy, they're in their own world, and you're just a foreigner on that side. So that took a toll on me, plus all the other things. And as much as I continued going to church, etc., I was going with a smile on my face, but deep down I was hurting inside. And the worst part about all of this situation was what I said to God going to my bed at nights. My prayer was, God, I'm gonna ask you one favor, and that is, please do not let me wake up tomorrow. I said, God, I cannot bear this pain anymore. But so please put me to rest. I don't want to do it myself. Being a Christian, I don't believe in taking your own life. You know, the Bible also speaks against it. And I said, God, I cannot go that route, but I'm asking you, do not let me wake up tomorrow. And I went to my bed praying that prayer every night for about a month. And every time morning come, I'm gonna get up and just say, God, why? Why am I alive today? I ask you one favor. And you couldn't do me that? And in hindsight, you know, looking back now that I've overcome that situation, I have prayed many times and I said, God, forgive me. Forgive me for saying that. You know, the reality is we all go through difficult times in our lives, very trying times. You know, some people, they just can't hold on. As you saw in the Japan today, you know, thousands of people committing suicide in 1 month. So you can only imagine that it's not only my heart being broken, but it's just other things that were taking place, you know, that led me to be in that sinkhole. And unless a person live in Japan, you wouldn't understand. You know, there were times when I would speak to other persons outside of Japan about my situation, and people understand, but it's because until you go through it, you not understand. And so only person within Japan I was able to speak to about certain things. So never you belittle or, you know, put down somebody's trials and tribulation and say, what you ball for? You know, why you depressed for? Why you just always depressed? Why you feel away there? Liven up yourself, man. You just never know what the person going through. And yes, you might be wanting to encourage a person and you know, put them into a better mood. But trust me, I think the best thing to do at times is to sit and listen to them and to pray for them. Now, as I said, it was terrible, you know, and that prayer that I prayed, my mother doesn't even know about this, and I guess she's gonna find out today about that. But as I said, I've asked God to forgive me for praying that prayer, because in truth and in fact, I was never going to my bed hungry. I had clothes on my back, I had a shelter, and Paul said that you should be content in whatever situation you're in. And really and truly, many persons in the world, they don't have those things. And so I look back and see how blessed I was. I was going through a trying time, but I was blessed. The reality is, though, that when you're going through a certain situation and people come to you and say, you're so blessed because you have other people going through a more difficult time than you. Come on. Me don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that at that point in time. Nobody. So it was so bad for me where, as I said before, I wanted to quit school. And I said, Mommy, I'm not doing this anymore. I feel like I'm doing this for you guys. I don't want to do it anymore. Blah, blah, blah. And my mother handed the phone to my father. And she said, boy, talk to Karen here because me not know what to say again. My father spoke to me. My father said, okay, what are the challenges that you're having? And I told him about it. And he said, okay, let me help you. Don't quit because you might need it in the future. So let me help you get through this rough patch. And then, at least you will have something. And bear in mind, it was a UK university, so I was spending some pounds. You know what I mean? I had gotten a part scholarship, but the other part of it, I had to be spending some pounds. So, to let those money just disappear, then it would have been for nothing, and my efforts would have been for naught. So, I said, okay. He said, after you come to Jamaica, think about it, whatever. Came to Jamaica. Okay, let me just reach out. By this time, I was starting to feel a little better, So this was from March to August. I was starting to feel a little better. Came home in August and decided that I was going to give this person a call just to try one more time, I'm not like give up. So I said, all right, I'm going to try one more time. Call the person. And, of course, new number. So the person said, who is this or whatever. So when I told them my name, the person said, Karen, who? I was like, okay. And maybe the person didn't realize it was this Karen, but when the person realized, the person hung up the phone. No, say, but I try to get better. And at that moment, if the earth could have opened up and swallow me, I think it would. I'm telling you, my heart sink. My heart sink. So I was like, okay, that's that, Anyway, went back to Japan in August of that year, 2016, and decided that, I'm just gonna live my life. But in all honesty, it didn't work like that. I went at least 1.5 years living in that depression moment. And I tell you, the struggle to come out of the deep hole, it's not easy. It's not easy because when you reach to a point where you don't want to read a Bible, you don't want to pray, or the prayer that you're praying doesn't line up with the type of person you are or the Christian values that you hold, then it's difficult to come out of that situation. It's difficult to come out of that situation. Now, I want to speak about how I overcame my depression. As I said, I was going to church, and while going to church, you know, they started asking me to do some things. And they said, Karen, can you sing for us? I said, okay. The church is small. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna give off my service because we need the participants, we need the help. So, okay, first step was I started singing. Okay. Started feeling a little better. Then I started to do Sabbath school. Then I started, just participating in church, just giving up my service. Whenever they asked me to do something, I never said no, I just continued doing that. And I realized that I started feeling so much better about myself. I was looking in the mirror again. I was, appreciating me. And in the background, my mother was on her knees 24/7 a day. My mother was praying for me because, at one point she told me, Karen, I don't recognize you. This is not you. I need but my daughter. And that really, really hit me, So as I said, I was participating in church. And my friends, oh my gosh, my friends, they were such a good support system for me. They were so good to me. I could message them, I could talk to them anytime about anything, and they were just there. We were always supporting each other, and that's just the beauty of it. My friends would just listen to me and give their encouraging words. They knew when to step in and when to step back, and that was just the amazing thing. When them say good friend better than pocket money, is the best thing them ever say. So I then realized that I started to getting closer to God. And here's the irony of all this. I was in a country where not many people know about God. They probably know something exists, but they don't really understand God's love or, the Bible, etc. And also, they have statues and shrines that they go to. So they believe in these statues, that these statues are the ones that bring them wealth and health and all these things, So I was in a country where all these things were happening, but yet I found God for myself. It was the best thing ever for me, and that was God. God saved me when I wanted to let go. God saved me when I wanted to let go. I'm telling you, it was nothing good that I have done or ever did that saved me, but it was God's grace and mercy that saved me. I started reading my Bible again, and I started finding scriptures that, brought me joy. And then I started having a different outlook on me and relationships and, all of that stuff. And one thing that I found out was that you have to build your personal relationship with Christ first before building it with anyone else. You have to love Christ first. You have to allow him to enter into your heart. And you have to find joy in God. Not happiness, but joy. Happiness, it comes and goes. But joy, that is something that will last, because you are just in God and God is in you. And I had to relearn myself all over again, and then the light started shining and it was coming back to me, and I started traveling. I started going out with my friends. I started enjoying life. I started being happy with just me. I started being happy single. I embraced it. I enjoyed it. And you know, I said, God, I'm not going date, you know, I not have time for that. Me not, can't bother go out there and meet different. I really wasn't in that. I said, God, whenever it's the right time, just drop him right in front of me. Just drop him. And when him come, let me know say him. So I stopped looking. I just wasn't on that train at all. I just was, you know, pouring on myself to God, and I started speaking positive things into my life. You know, I started speaking, reading about certain scriptures. For example, you know, I think it's in Matthew 6 verse probably 33. Seek ye first kingdom of God, and all his righteousness, all these things will be added unto you. So I just delved into God's word, and I started seeing a change into my life. You know, I started just feeling so positive about life. So I just want to implore you today to seek God first in everything that you do. And I know when you're going through a trying times, it's absolutely very difficult. That's it. Probably sometimes that's the last thing you want to hear. But God alone can save you. You know, and for those individuals out there who don't even know God, let's pray for them. Let's lift them up in prayer. As I said, you know, let's lift up these victims' families in prayer and allow the Holy Spirit to so move them to know God. You know, and if you have the opportunity to tell somebody about God or to just be nice to somebody, just do that. And remember, even persons who are strong, they need somebody to call and say, hey, you all right? You're okay? You know, how are you doing today? Be there for each other. Be kind to each other. Be loving to each other. And I just want to sing this song because it really goes deep for me. So this song is I think it's entitled, Oh, I Almost Let Go. So if you know it, you can just sing it with me and just hang in there, my friends. Hang in there. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I almost let go. I felt like I just couldn't take life anymore. My problems had me bound. Depression weighed me down. But God held me close, so I would let go. God's mercy kept me, so I would let go. Yeah, God's mercy kept me, so I wouldn't let go. So let's just say today I am great, I am good, I am happy that God saved me, and I finished my master's. And it has helped me today, so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I didn't let go. I'm grateful that I didn't give up, and I'm thankful to the support of my friends. And I can't call no name because it's a lot, but my friends, they know who they are. And yeah, hang in there. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I hope it has inspired you. And you know, let's just keep hope alive. It's tough out there in the world, but one step at a time, and just learn to be content in whatever situation you're in. Thank you.